Hello, this is the Bible in Fewer Words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 26, Exodus, chapter 5 through 7. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
What are we doing today?
Well, we're going to get into Moses and Aaron talking to the Pharaoh. Yeah, we're going to be starting kind of a new segment in Moses' life.
Okay. Shall I go first?
Sure.
Chapter 5. Moses and Aaron went to the Pharaoh and said to him, God said, "Let my people go have a feast to me in the wilderness." I'm going to stop right there.
Okay.
What does that mean, have a feast to me? Who's the to me?
God told Moses to tell the Pharaoh to let them go, let the Israelites go, so that they can go into the wilderness or into the desert, make sacrifices to him, have a feast to him.
Mm-hmm. To God.
Yeah, he wants the people to be praying to him.
Okay. And their whole plan here in talking to Pharaoh is what again?
Well, I think it's to let the people go, and I think Pharaoh kind of knows that, and we're going to see that he's probably not going to go along with their request.
Okay. Do we think that this little line about go tell the Pharaoh this, not very honest?
I think that he's trying to trick the Pharaoh, that Moses is, saying, let's just go out and sacrifice to our God.
Uh-huh.
And then once they do that, all these slaves are just going to keep going back to Canaan. They're not going to come back.
Oh. How many slaves are we talking about?
We'll find out later that
Okay.
It's several million, probably.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
So going out into the I was thinking, okay, let's go have a little picnic or a little sacrifice party out in the wilderness.
Yeah, well, it's slaves, and they really shouldn't have that option, right? Just to go away and have this feast.
Mm-hmm.
No, we get back to work is what I think the Pharaoh's going to say, but we'll see.
Okay. The Pharaoh said, "Why should I obey your God? I don't know him, and I won't let his people go."
Moses and Aaron said, "Please, let us go into the desert and pray for 3 days, or else God will kill us with a disease or a sword." The Pharaoh said, "Why did you and Moses tell the people to stop working? Tell them to get to work." The Pharaoh's officers said to the people, "We won't give you any straw. Get it yourselves." So,
Can I stop you there?
yeah.
What do they need straw for?
Well, they're making bricks.
Oh.
And they need straw and I guess mud or something to make the bricks. And the Pharaoh's officers aren't providing it for them. They're saying, you're just a bunch of lazy guys. You need to go and get the straw yourselves. We're not going to get it for you. It's part of your job.
Okay. So straw, no straw, but you have to make bricks.
That's right.
Okay, so the Israelites gathered straw and were beaten for not making enough bricks. They complained to Pharaoh, saying, "Your officers give us no straw and then beat us for not making enough bricks." It sounds like that's an issue there.
Yeah. They have difficult working conditions, I think.
Yes, they do. The Pharaoh said to them, "You're lazy. All you want to do is sacrifice to your God. Get to work. You'll get no straw, but you must make bricks." So maybe the Pharaoh's on to the little trick of let us go out in the wilderness and we'll just do nothing and keep
don't
going.
talk to me about these feasts that you're going to have in the wilderness or complain about the straw. Just get the straw, make the bricks like you're supposed to. But people said to Moses and Aaron, "You're making things worse for us. Now the Pharaoh will kill us with a sword."
Oh, so now the slaves are starting to complain.
Yeah, they're complaining to Moses and Aaron.
Because before all this, I guess they were given straw and they could just work.
I guess.
Okay.
Moses said to God, "Why are you being so evil to us? And why did you send me? The Pharaoh isn't listening to me. He's still doing evil to the people, and you haven't helped us at all."
So this is Moses talking to God?
Yeah.
Like that?
Right.
That's sassy.
It is. It's kind of surprising.
Well, especially since God just tried to kill him on their way there.
That's right. Yeah. Maybe he hasn't forgiven him for that.
Maybe he hasn't. So he's just kind of upset at God for giving him a hard time.
Yeah, and that's the end of chapter 5.
Okay, chapter 6. Moses spoke to the people, but they didn't listen to him. Moses said to God, "The people won't listen to me. I have uncircumcised lips."
Yeah, that's a line that I use a lot.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that he doesn't speak very well. And so whenever I'm asked to speak anywhere,
In a public place?
I usually tell them that I can't because I have uncircumcised lips.
And then people don't know what to do and they just say, okay.
Yeah, I
let
usually
you go.
have to explain that a little bit. You know, I just tell them that to look it up in Exodus chapter 6, verse 9.
Okay, so he's saying I don't speak very
speak well.
They don't listen to me.
Uh-huh.
He
told them before that he didn't speak very well, but now he's saying it in an especially expressive way.
Well, actually, before God said, don't worry about that. Aaron will talk for you.
Yeah, he did. Anyway, I think it's kind of interesting, that uncircumcised lips things. I don't know how that exactly translates into not speaking well, but that's what he means.
Okay. So God said to Moses, "Bring my people out of Egypt." Yeah, he keeps saying that.
Yeah, I've left out a lot of times where God repeats himself, saying the same things. You're going to do all these signs and wonders. The Pharaoh is or isn't going to let the people go. Sometimes he says he is, sometimes he says he isn't. But it's repeated many times, and I've left some of that out.
Okay.
Another thing I left out is the next part, the ending of chapter 6, is just a bunch of genealogy about Moses and Aaron.
All right.
And it's not very interesting, except for one thing. It does talk about Amram and Jochebed. Amram, who is Moses and Aaron's father, married his father's sister, Jochebed. So Jochebed was not only Aaron's mother, she was also his aunt.
All right, that sounds like it's not allowed.
It's not allowed. It's condemned in Leviticus quite strongly, but
but they got away with it there.
That's what it says here. And it says that they had two sons, Aaron and Moses. It doesn't mention Miriam, which is strange.
That is strange.
But then she's a female, so.
And it's not the first time that women are ignored.
So that's all we're going to say about chapter 6.
So I guess we move on to chapter 7.
Mm-hmm.
God said to Moses, "I have made you a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron will be your prophet. You'll say whatever I tell you, and Pharaoh will send the Israelites out of Egypt. I will harden Pharaoh's heart. The Pharaoh won't listen to you, so that I can bring my armies and show the Egyptians that I'm God."
Yeah.
Again, the hardening heart.
He also says, and I left that out, that he wants to show off his signs and wonders so that the Egyptians will know that he's God.
Because if Pharaoh just said, yeah,
go, then he wouldn't be able to show off his signs and wonders. So he has to harden his heart so that God will have a chance to show all the things he's going to show.
Through Aaron and Moses.
And
his tricks about the rod and the snakes
and the river and the water and the blood and other things that are coming up. All those things God wants to show off so that people will know who he is, so that the Pharaoh will know and the Egyptians will know who he is.
So he's building his reputation.
Yeah, I guess so.
You want to go ahead?
Sure. Verse 8. God said to Moses and Aaron, "When the Pharaoh asks for a miracle, throw your rod down, and it will become a snake." So Aaron threw his rod down, and it became a serpent. I guess that's a snake.
Mm-hmm.
But the Egyptian magicians knew this trick too. They threw down their rods, and they also became snakes.
I guess they went to the same magic school.
Yeah, that's amazing that you would think that the magicians wouldn't have the same power that God's giving Moses to show off. But they do. They have that power. But in verse 12 it says that Aaron's snake swallowed theirs.
My daddy's stronger than your daddy.
So I think that makes the score 2-1.
I think so.
And God hardened the Pharaoh's heart so that he wouldn't let the Israelites go.
I just still don't get that, but I will accept it for now. God said to Moses, "Take the rod that was turned into a serpent and go down to the water when Pharaoh is there, and say to him, The Hebrew God has sent me to you to tell you to let his people go into the wilderness. I think Pharaoh knows that. Has he said that once or twice? Uh-huh. This is the way you'll know that I'm God. I'll smack the water with this rod, and the river will turn to blood.
So Moses and Aaron did as God commanded. Moses smote the waters in the river while the Pharaoh watched, and the river turned to blood. All the fish in the river died. The river stank. No one could drink from it, and there was blood everywhere in Egypt.
That sounds pretty horrible.
Yeah, must have been pretty bad.
So fish all dying, and they're rotting.
Yeah, everything's stinking, and nobody can drink any water, and all the fish are dead. But the next verse tells us something very interesting, which says, but Pharaoh's magicians knew this trick too. They smote the water in the river with their rods, and it turned to blood.
Okay, so it turned back to water in between the
I
two
think either
times?
God turned it back after he kind of showed off the trick. He turned it back into water again. I don't know whether he brought the fish back to life and cleaned up or not. I guess he must have cleaned up a bit. And then the magicians got their chance, and they were able to do it too. It doesn't say whether it's cleaned up after that or not.
So what's the score now then?
I think it's 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah.
God's leading?
Well, yeah, because the snake, their
ate.
snake ate the other guy. So I think it's 3-2.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
We should keep rooting for...
Yeah, we'll have more scorekeeping coming up.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.